What is up, YouTube? Man, I'm trying to come live to you guys today in prompt video, and I'm doing it on my iPad, so I don't know if this is going to work. So, if anybody's out there, let me know if you can even hear me. I have no idea. I can't see the chat as of right now. I can't see anything. So, yeah, so I'm just depending on you guys to tell me if everything looks and sounds good. No guess. So, there's somebody in the chat. Yeah, give me a yell. The chat is really weird on this thing. It's kind of like it. Oh, let me fix it here. I can see the live chat. There we go. So yeah, just give me a shout out if you guys are hearing and seeing okay. Internet connection is really kind of spotty here. Yeah, there's some people there. What's up, Veronica and Wes? Hey, Wes. I think I saw Michelle earlier too. See if I can just kind of see the chat going. Yeah, it's weird. Like I see the chat and then it disappears. Crazy. So go figure. But yeah, it is Monday, August 12th, 2019. And I decided to jump on for a few minutes and talk to you guys about selling on Amazon. A lot of you guys know I've been selling on Amazon now for some time. Switched from eBay really kind of back last year, but definitely all of 2019. I'm going to pull this up on my phone too, so maybe I can see it. And I can see the chat a little better. So, oh, there it is. Yeah. Show of hands. How many guys sell on Amazon in the chat or in the comments? And if you do, this is almost going to come off like a rant video. I don't know if it's really a rant, but kind of a rant. Man, Amazon is hard. Like it is really hard. Let me explain why I say it's hard, because I know everybody's kind of got a different opinion about this stuff, but it's hard because, but man, Amazon is rough to sell on because I just keep running out of money to source things. It is the craziest thing. Like when I was selling on eBay and selling clothes and mainly jeans and so on, I used to sell a lot of jeans on eBay. That was fine because jeans were pretty cheap. I could find them all over. I knew about what they would sell through and so on, and it was no big deal to kind of stay on top of like the inventory and the sourcing and having money to buy more the next month or the next week or whatever the time was. God, Amazon is really hard to do that on. And excuse me, I'm not the only person I know that suffers with this. I have a couple friends who are bigger sellers, and they say the same thing. Like it's just a bigger scale. Like, yep, constantly running out of money to buy stuff. And it's depressing when you go out and you source for a day or two, and then you got to wait 2 weeks till your money comes back from a disbursement from Amazon. You're done. Like that's it. Like I don't have a shortage of things I could go source, but I have a real shortage of money. I think I could legitimately spend. I could probably spend $20,000 a month on inventory on Amazon with no problem right here in the area I live in. Maybe some online arbitrage too, but I don't have that kind of cash flowing back out. And even the people I know that do have that kind of cash flowing back out, they have the same problem. Like there's so much to buy and so much you could buy, and then you buy it and you send it in, it's just gone. Like it sells, like 80-90% of it sells in 30 days. Sometimes 60 days, maybe the most. And it's depressing because like you just keep running out of money, but you're not running out of things you could go buy. You just keep running out of money. And I don't really know what to do about it. We've I've gotten a pretty much some money from I have an Amazon loan, a little small loan they gave me. We've used a credit card that we are getting and paying stuff off on. I just can't quit running out of money. Like when I was doing only books on Amazon, it wasn't that bad because if you go and spend $1,000 on books, you're gonna have a lot of books. Like that's hundreds and hundreds of books. But when you start moving to the retail arbitrage items and the items start costing you 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 or $13 a piece, bucks is nothing. Like you spend that in like a day sometimes if you really go after it. Um, Wes says you need 70K for a startup to be able to source enough books in order to bring in 60K net annually. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Wes. I think you're right. I mean, you like books you got a lot of books to generate a lot of revenue. Now the good thing is books are everywhere, and you got to prep them and ship them. It still takes a lot of time. John says, I know somebody spends 100 grand a month to stay sourced. This is aftermarket auto parts. Wow. I don't doubt it, John. I mean, you can build, like, one person can theoretically build $1 million a year business on Amazon, because you just need to, it depends on what you're sourcing, but you're not going to go out and source it at the thrift stores. Like, you just run out of time. But you could definitely do it, like, just from online arbitrage. Let me turn this stupid heater off. You could do online arbitrage. You could do it just, retail arbitrage, like buying a multiple quantity. But I mean, it's a good problem, but I don't know how to solve it. I really don't. Like, I feel like I would need, if I had about $25,000 in inventory or capital, I could probably go get kind of ahead of this for a while. Like, it would take me a while to kind of go through that and figure out, exactly what made the most sense to buy. But like, I was looking at my categories today. I don't have my laptop here up in front of me, but we've started selling some apparel too, clothing. Not jeans, at least not yet. But we started selling some clothes on Amazon, and I think I've sourced maybe like 150, maybe 200 items so far. No, probably not 200, maybe 175. 145 of them have sold, like, in less than 2 months. I mean, they're just gone. Like, I don't, and it's great that I sell them and I get the money back, but I don't have enough clothing listed right now to sustain all the sales I need to make. So it's kind of tricky. It's like, well, what do I still use on books, or health and beauty items? I don't know, man. It's super frustrating. I'll be totally honest. Connie says feeding the beast is expensive. Yeah, it is. It's like an endless black hole where your capital budget just goes right into it, and you never, like, you get the money back, but I don't know. It's almost like it makes you greedy in a way. Like, all right, so I sent in $1,000 worth of stuff I bought, and I get 1,000 back, but I want to buy 1,500 this month. But you don't really have 1,500 to spend. You have 1,000 again, or maybe 800 of it. And so then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're out of money for sourcing, and that's kind of what we've run into. It's just this never-ending cycle. And people, some people have been talking about getting ready for fourth quarter and so on, and I'm thinking, I can't even do anything extra for fourth quarter. I don't have a capital budget to do it with. Like, I literally just don't. I can't sit here and hold items. I mean, I need to send them in and keep them moving. Car and I talked about this, and I might talk about this more in another video. I'm going to do more of these just sort of one-off simple topic videos, but we talked about this the other day. It's like a lot of people that, not a lot, but some of the people that we know that are resellers, they have other sort of cash flow coming back out of the business constantly. You can't sit on things. Like, it's impossible. If you sit on items, you're not selling. And if you're not selling them, you're not having revenue come in. And if you don't have revenue coming in, how are you paying the light bill? So, it's just, man, it's really stressing me out. I'll be totally honest. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to fix it. I don't really know how to proceed with it. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, a big seller, and he said, well, maybe you should do like 20% books and 80% the RA items. And I could do that. But I don't even know if that'll solve it or not. So I'm just like, I'm in like a dilemma, and it's because things sell so well on the platform. Like, stuff just isn't set. The only things that set for a while, ironically, are books. which you don't pay a lot for them. There's not a lot of inventory cost, not a lot of cost for the storage, so it's not a huge deal. But I struggle now. Like here's my mindset problem. I struggle now to say, all right, you got a hypothetical $100. Are you going to go buy 50 books, maybe 60, 70 books, 80 books, maybe even, you know, or are you going to that you'll sell like 15% of them next month, 15% of what's left the month after that, and so on and so on? Or are you going to go spend that $100 and buy 10, let's just say 10, you know, RA items, and you're going to sell 8 of them by the end of the month. And you're going to have two, and you're going to have 2 left, but you're going to sell 80% of it. But you're going to have to wait, depending on when disbursements come, a couple weeks to sort of get your money back out because Amazon pays every 2 weeks. It's such a man, it's like I don't even know how to wrap my head around anymore. I feel like I'm spinning my wheels somewhat. And like I was really trending really well up through May, and then June and July were just blah. I mean, they dropped. June dropped off like 30 or 40, 35%, and then last month was just sort of meh, about this a little bit less than June. So I'm obviously doing something wrong. I'm doing some things right, but I'm doing some things wrong too. And I don't know exactly what it is. And I guess I'm just on here to rant about it. So thanks for joining. But hey, feel free to rant in the chat or the comments too. It's Rant Monday. Maybe that'll become a thing. Do you miss eBay with shoes and jeans? I don't. I don't miss storing all that inventory. To be perfectly honest, Marrakesh, I just storing all that inventory to me is just seems so counterintuitive now. I don't miss the lack of sell through. So no, I don't miss eBay. I mean, nothing wrong with eBay, but in my mindset, eBay is not the right way for me to go. And I know there's been some sellers on Amazon that have gone, well, this isn't working for me, so maybe I'll just go back to eBay. And I'm like, why? Why do you think what you're doing is going to work better on eBay than it is on Amazon? So I don't know. Connie doesn't enjoy Amazon like eBay. It's very stressful. It is stressful. Like, what the heck? I thought more sales and faster sell through would be less stressful. It's the opposite. Like, it's more stressful, but for a different reason. Like, eBay was stressful for me because I always felt like it was going to be a struggle. And I've talked about this, like, we talked about doing 5,000 jeans at one point. And then I realized, like, man, I'm going to have to hire like 4 people. It's going to have to take over like half my house. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, it just didn't make sense to me at some point, and I wasn't even sure I could get that many. I had no idea where to even get that many, to have that much inventory in stock. So there were points on eBay where I just thought, well, this isn't going to work because all these limitations. But Amazon is stressful for a whole different set of reasons. And of course, there's always restrictions and I had an IP complaint the other day from a brand that I sell, and they sent me an email saying, hey, you're not authorized. And I finally told them at the second email, I said, you know what? The first sale doctrine says I can sell this product. I have receipts. It's valid. It's a legitimate product. But you know what? I'll pull it even though you guys are douchebags. I didn't say douchebags in the email, but I thought it. And they're like, oh, we will continue to monitor our product. And you know what? I'm thinking like 6 months from now, I might start selling their product again. I don't care. I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong. And they tried to make it like I was part of their retailer program, and because of that, I wasn't authorized to sell their product. I'm like, I'm not part of your program, so how can I be violating the rules of your program? It was kind of interesting. Like, I think it was all a bluff, the email, but I don't know. I pulled them down. I'll probably sell them on eBay. John says, they outspin, but they're selling. Spender is my competition. They outspin me, but they're selling is crazy. Yeah, there's always people like that in your category, right? That just like spend so much money on their inventory, and you always feel like you're playing catch up with your inventory to them. And I guess you really can't worry about it. You got to only compare yourself to yourself. But man, there's just some people you just feel like there was some listing the other day. I was doing some repricing, and I think I had the item price at like $22, and there was somebody on it for like 16, which at 16 I think I might have made a dime or something stupid like that after all the cost and fees. And so I looked at their totals and they had like 400 of them. And this item's selling like, 30 or 40 a month. And I'm going, wow, they're going to run out in like a year and a half, maybe. So, and you run into that. And it's like, well, what do you do in that case? Do you just eat it right then and just say, well, I'm just going to try to drop and stay even with them, get some money back out of it, break even maybe? Or do you just try to wait them out? That's always a tricky thing for me to figure out. Quick Flip says, not following the logic of being disappointed that items don't sit. It's because Quick Flip, it's that's not exactly why I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because, not disappointed, disappointed is the wrong word, like stressed, because there's such a lag between when you sell and the money comes back out to you. Like if you had just sold something on the first day after you got dispersed on it, you're going to wait, 2 more weeks to get paid back out on that item. And so what happens is you try to grow your inventory. You've got that money coming in, you know, but you got to wait 2 weeks after you sell a bunch. And then it's like you get this clump of money all at once and then you go spend it. But then there's like nothing to do for 10 days. I can go spend, every time I get disbursement, I can spend my cost of goods sold from that disbursement in 2 days. Well, what do I do for the next 12? It's like, what do you do for those next 12 days? I still haven't figured that out. That's what's just stressful. I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and wasting my time. It's not wasting time because things aren't selling. Like we started selling some apparel items, which are great, but apparel items cost more. So like when you're transitioning from a lower cost of goods item like books to something like apparel that costs more, you can't buy as many of them. So even if you still got a great sell through, there's such a lag time between how long, when they sell and you get your money back out for your cost of goods. It's just like a never ending cycle. Susanna says, how does thrift books sell books for $3 plus free shipping and free returns? I don't know. Like there's no way if you're selling an FBA, there's no way you make money on a $3 book. Like I think they're just getting some revenue back out. Like, I mean, think about it this way. Say you paid $1 for a book, and if you sold it at $10, you'd make like, let's say, $3 profit. But now, like the market tanks, and you decide, well, I'm going to sell it for $5. And at $5, like the pick and pack fee let's say the pick and pack fee is like $3.15, and the other fees are like 15-20%. So now maybe you've only got about 85 cents in profit back, and you paid $1. Well, now you're only losing 15 cents, and you get 85 cents of that dollar, or you get 85 cents of that dollar back. So you can turn that into maybe a profitable book again. I think that's what they do a lot of times. Like you're definitely losing money on that book, and I just use that math as an example. But I think that's what happens. Like you get something back out of it rather than just letting it sit there and sit there and sit there, and just accumulate storage fees. I mean, a book can cost you like I can't remember the total. It's like $6 over the cost of a year in storage fees. I think it's $6. I don't remember. But so you don't want to eat that for like a whole year. Then you're really down. But yeah, they're not making any money on it. I've missed your rants. I know. I'm ranting today. Rant on. Do you sell used items on Amazon? Nope. Not hardly any. Maybe is there some advantage to that I don't know about? Maybe there is. Prof, you started to go up the selling shoes. Why'd you quit the shoe game? It was the same reason we quit the jean game. We just have any room for them. We have any room for them. They took a lot of time to clean and prep. There's nothing wrong with the shoe game. Don't get me wrong. I was talking to Tino about that yesterday or the day before. He's doing great with him and his business, his partner. I mean, he's got challenges too, but there's nothing wrong with selling shoes. Selling shoes on Amazon is a whole nother. I don't sell shoes on Amazon, full disclosure. But I know some people do, and that's a whole nother topic. Selling shoes, new shoes on Amazon is really, man, That's a challenge. Not because they won't sell, they will. But man, there's a lot of challenges to that game. You got to know what you're doing. Um, Hello, upside down picker. Uh, yeah, so I don't, I don't know, guys. I mean, it's just stressful right now. And like I said, the stress is maybe I'm just coming to YouTube to take out some of the stress. But I don't know how to like I don't know how to get ahead of this, spend all the money, send it all in, wait 30 days for it to sell, but then potentially you're even like 2 or 3 pay periods till you get that money. So now you're waiting 45 days. I don't know. And it's like I'm trying to build back up I'm trying to build up these categories. Karin told me I should just stick on a category longer, and maybe that's true. Um, but it's tough when you get back on a new platform like we did with Amazon last year. I never anticipated just selling books. I mean, that was not never going to be my goal. I thought it was an easy, quick way to get back on the platform and get started and start building some momentum and building some cash, and it is. But I wonder, like, if we had kept, like, if we were up to, 5, 6, 7,000 books now, where would we be in terms of sales? I don't know. I really don't know. Um, I know that the big money in books is in you either can do a volume game, which requires thousands of books on Amazon, or theoretically you could do really quick flips too, but that's harder because you got to really constantly be getting more and more books. Or you can do the textbook game, which that comes with a set of challenges too. That I just textbooks are like a no brainer in terms of your average selling price. Man, you will sell textbooks for a lot of money. But there are definitely some challenges around textbooks and some things coming down the pike that are going to change that market completely to a point where I don't think it's even going to be that great anymore. I could be wrong. Um, I think the textbook market for booksellers, your days are numbered, because I think some things are happening in that industry that are just going to fundamentally change the nature of it. Pearson came out the other day and said, which is I think they might be the biggest textbook publisher, but said they came out and said that they're basically going to start moving more towards that digital, on demand, rental models, because printing books just doesn't make sense. I mean, it kind of doesn't. I mean, there are people who like the book, but when you're printing the same book, for 5 or 6 semesters in a row, why would you do that? Like, it's a lot of expense. And it's been a cash cow, but I think the market is forcing them to change. And so that's going to make textbook sellers, if you're a bookseller, that's going to force you to change as well. And probably not in a way that's going to help you with textbooks. Now, that doesn't mean there's not still money to be made. There is. And there might be for a while. But it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same a year from now. 5 years from now, it might be so different that it's completely not worth selling them at all. But we'll see. Shoes have to be pristine on Amazon, Connie says. Yeah, I know. Original packaging, no new without a box on Amazon. I thought some people did the brown box, Connie. Am I wrong about that? Does anybody else know? I thought you could sell some shoes in a brown box, but I may be wrong on that. Somebody let me know. You should focus on fill-a-bag books, spending 25 cents per book and getting $5 profit adds up really fast. Fast-selling $9 books are fine because you will also find 20. Yeah, D-Money, you're right. I mean, you're right about that, for sure. It's like, what do you want to trade your time with? Like, here's my dilemma. So I'm sitting here complaining about, well, I get all my money back from Amazon in a disbursement, and then I go spend it like in 2 days, and I got all this time, right? So I got all this time. Well, if you're going to go source $9 books for Amazon, you're going to have to spend that time now on scanning books and getting books, right? A lot more of your time is going to be taken up with that. And you're going to sell them through slower, but you're not going to spend as much, and you're going to make steady profits. So it's like, what do you want to trade it off for? I just felt like the books only at a certain point were just, I wasn't sure I was going to get there fast enough. And the ironic thing is, and here's where maybe I kind of screwed myself. The ironic thing is, I can get there fast enough with other categories, but I don't have the capital to do it. So I guess I can't get there fast enough. It's just, man, it's such a, I guess I mean, I'm not trying to come off as ungrateful, and maybe I am, and if I am, I'm not saying this right. But it's just one of these situations where like you don't really know what button to push next to make your business better. And I'm always thinking about that button, right? I'm always thinking about, all right, how can I do this better? How can I be more efficient? How can I be more profitable? And maybe that's part of my problem. We don't use payability. It's a pretty high rate, a pretty high percentage they take. Last I checked, and I saw some people were having some issues with payability, getting their money. So it made me, I kind of like, I don't know, I was kind of a little skeeved out by it. But I mean, payability is it's an option. You know, there are people on Amazon who apparently can just ask and get daily payouts. I should probably just try that, right? Just try for a daily payout and just say, hey, can I get daily payouts Amazon? Maybe they'll say yes. Probably not. Um, what's up, Hank? It's a good, I haven't seen you in a while. It's a good rant. There's always challenges. It's just a matter of how one handles them. You'll figure it out. Yeah, I know, right? I keep telling myself that. Maybe this is how I'm figuring it out, right? I got to come here on the internet and you guys have to be subjected to my nonsense for a bit. Um, yeah, I mean, like, what do you guys do when like your business is just like not kicking your butt, but just you're annoyed, you're pissed off, you don't know which way to go. It's like, how do you handle it, you know? Aside from figuring out what you need to do, like you take a walk, you know, do you punch a wall? Do you, I don't know, go read a book? I don't know. Whatever your way is to deal with it. Um, Upside Down says I'm thinking about trying out some books on merchant fulfilled. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who do that. I think as long as you can keep a nice organized system and you've got to be able to process and ship books. I just got to the point where I thought with merch fulfilled, I thought, man, Amazon, like that's the great thing about FBA. They handle all that customer service on the back end. And merchant fulfilled books, you're going to have some customer service issues. And they're going to be on you if you do it. Like if you don't ship on time or it gets there late or the customer says the condition's not what you said. Like I had somebody the other day who said that one of my books, um, and I couldn't really do anything about this was because it was FBA, but they said, yeah, the condition looked like the book had been through World War II. I'm like, all right, thanks. I appreciate that. But you know, like when you're merchant fulfilled, all those condition, all that stuff comes back on you. Like you have you have nobody propping you up like you do with FBA. And plus, you still got to spend the time and energy to go and process all the books, you know, ship them out, packing supplies, store them somewhere, all that crap. Keep an organized system, which, you know, I mean, you're basically keeping a library that you happen to be selling. Um, Nothing wrong with it, and plenty of people have done great businesses with it. Some people do both. Um, you know, I just think it's like, man, FBA allows me to ship 50 books one time rather than shipping one book 50 times to 50 different people. That is a huge time savings and huge load off my mind. And when I'm done with them, and if they're not going to sell, I can just dispose of them, have Amazon get rid of them. Problem solved. Like Merchant Filled, you know, you got to ship all 50 of those books 50 different times. You know, it's like you got to have 50 different packaging and just annoying. Uh, John says it's not you're unhappy. You need something to fill in the gaps between your cycles. A tough balance to keep it moving. Yeah, I agree, John. I don't know what it is. Anybody got any ideas? I'm open. Um, I thought an appeal to FBA would be you can have that going and source eBay at the same time. I could. I could, but you know, I'm trying to like not have a lot of inventory hanging around. And with eBay, you have to do that. Although I guess they're going to go fulfilled by eBay at some point here, right? They're saying whatever. Um, that's a whole nother topic. Uh, Ed says I sold white label products on Amazon I purchased from China. Did good, but other sellers moved in the product to undercut my prices. Couldn't compete with them. Yeah, that's a real problem, Ed. I don't have any experience with that because I'm just selling, you know, items that other people have manufactured. They're not my private label. or wholesale. But yeah, I mean, if you sell on Amazon and you sell, I mean, that can happen anywhere. Like you can sell on your own website, and then other people put up another website selling the same product cheaper than you. That there's no defense against that. Um, it just happens to happen on Amazon too, but it sucks when it happens to you. Amazon is like the easy option, but you pay for it. Yeah, I don't know. Do you pay for it? I guess you do. I mean, you do pay for it, but this is the thing. Like, you pay for it no matter what you do. Like, if you only sell merchant fulfill or you only sell on eBay or Poshmark or whatever, you still pay for every order. Like, you've got to spend the time to go find it and package it and ship it, pay for the shipping, deal with customer service. I mean, you got to pay. You're paying for some kind of space to store it. Whether maybe it's your house, but theoretically, you could be in a smaller house if you didn't have to store your items, theoretically. I mean, maybe you have an office space, warehouse, storage unit, whatever. You pay for it no matter what. So it's just a matter of what are you willing to outsource about your business. So I think that's the appeal to FBA. You should have the instant transfer button. Click check your account unless your account says you're not eligible for on-demand transfers. I think I've checked it before, D-Money, but I'll check it again. That's a good tip. I don't like the way Amazon splits up the shipments. So Connie, all right, you're right. So what Connie's talking about, and this is another pet peeve. I could do a whole nother rant on this. I'm just gonna start rant videos, I think. Is that when you go and you put in your shipment to Amazon, you submit the batch, they will split it up sometimes weird ways. Like I'm lucky here in Charlotte, a lot of stuff goes to Charlotte, which is cool. But like the other day, I was in my program, was an inventory lab, and I had one clothing item and three books. The three books which this iPad are setting on, by the way. And it said, oh, well, this one clothing item, like all the rest of the shipment was going to Charlotte. This one clothing item is going to this fulfillment lab and some of these third party, you can just say, hey, take those out of the batch before you submit the batch. Once you submit the batch to Amazon, you have to accept the way they split it up. You don't have an option anymore. But if you're still in that, it's telling you in the batch like where it thinks they're going to go. And if I see that it wasn't a Charlotte location, I just took out of the batch. I'll wait till another one, and eventually I'll have to send it. But it was nice, and so all 20. It was only like 28 units. It was a lot of profit. Like that shipment had a lot of profit, which was cool. I think it had like 500 and some dollars profit with those 28 items. It was nice, but they all went to Charlotte, and I just kept these other four items here. And the next time I do a shipment, I'll try them again. So, but again, if you submit the batch, you're out of luck. If you submit the batch and it says they're split, you got to do it. Amazon gets pissy now if you don't do those. What's up, Doolin, man? Good hearing from you, buddy. Richard's an old friend of mine from way back. How about finding a hobby you love that's potential to be profitable? Yeah, that's a good tip. I don't know. The only hobbies I used to like were pool and poker, which there's no money really in pool. Poker, there's a little bit, but I don't think I want to go back down that road again. I like playing, but not like I used to 10 years ago. eBay is coming out with something similar to FBA. Yeah, kind of. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how it'll shake out. I'm not, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys went to the eBay Open this year. I went last year and heard some of the stuff that was said and so on. I was like, I don't know that you guys really have this figured out at the eBay higher ups. So I'm not super confident in their ability to have a fulfillment service, but we'll see. Thanks for your honesty. Stay strong. Thanks, Marrakesh. I appreciate that. That's good advice. I use eBay to fill my gaps. I sell new shoes sourced at Ross and Marshalls on eBay to help turn over capital fast. That's interesting, Brandon. You sell those on eBay. I hadn't thought about some on eBay. I've looked at them. Well, I guess it makes sense because like a lot of the best shoes at Marshalls or Ross are Nike, right? You find some great Nikes there that'll sell for good money, but a lot of people can't sell Nike on Amazon. So it's a little bit tricky to get approved for that if you're not already approved. So yeah, that's a good tip actually. I probably should do some of that, but I'm terrible about stuff like that. Um, yeah, some other people saying hi in the chat and so on. Um, yeah, World War II. Oh boy, from Hank. Yeah, gotta have a laugh. I know, right? Condition World War II. Uh, yeah, I don't know how eBay's gonna shake out with this fulfillment thing. I'm not optimistic about it. I mean, just given their track record in the past, we'll see. Maybe I should start selling eBay again. There's a tip. I don't know what that would do for me. It would just drive me crazy in a different way. Um, but who knows? Anyway, all right. Well, I plan on being like 30 minutes. So we're already at 35 minutes or so. So thanks for listening to me rant. I'm not going to come on here and rant every time from now on, but I will come on and just talk about some stuff that's going on, like in the business and so on. Just some annoying crap, and just like dealing with the struggles of it. I'm going to make it just a little more real, day in the life kind of approach. I'm going to try to, at least. So that's what's been kind of in my head. And, thank you guys, because I already feel a little bit better. So I appreciate that. But hope you guys maybe got something out of it. Maybe this catharsis. I don't know, for me at least. But check out the description. I'll post all that junk after the video's up. And, if you see anything there that interests you, that's cool. But I'll be back here before too long. Now I just got to figure out how to end this thing. But hope you guys have a great rest of your day. So see you later.